Moana 2. It is the non-spoiler review. This is the sequel to the hit 2016 film. This one brings back Luli Cavallo as Moana, Dwayne Johnson as The Rock, and this movie was supposed to be a streaming movie that Bob Chapek greenlit, and then Bob Iger said, "What the hell are you doing? This is one of our most successful movies. We're going to make this theatrical." And the first question is going to be, can you feel that? And the answer is yes, you can feel that. And I think the most notably, the feeling is with the absence of Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think that his music was one of the big charms of the original, and that is missing. The music that's in this movie, it doesn't have that impact. There's no "You're Welcome" or any of the stuff that it just stood out. It stood out in that first movie, and the songs were as much of a character as the ocean was, as the grandmother was, as everything else too. So when the least interesting part of part two is actually the music. There just wasn't even. There's one song that Maui sings, and it didn't have that charm to it, and it almost felt awkward. But then you're asking me the question, did I like the movie? And I did like the movie. Do I think that it has the magic of the first one? No, it doesn't. I like the story though, and the story was essentially that now that Moana has, brought back the heart of Tahiti and all that, and now she's a wayfinder, and she's done a wayfinder. She's done all these things that she's now beloved in her village, and now she got her little sister is kind of grown up, and she's out trying to find more people, more villagers to bring together human beings, and she can't find any. So she's visited by a spirit who tells her, "Hey, listen, this is what you got to do. You got to reunite the people. You got to find this island." But there's a big spirit that's kind of holding court, doesn't like human beings, and throughout the journey, she of course has to team up with Maui again. There's some new humans that she brings from the village, and there's a lot of charming moments. I think the stuff with the little sister was really good. There's a good portion of it. You can tell though that they were cutting back on spending, because there's a good portion in the beginning that Maui is not in this thing. So that was probably and they also gave Dwayne Johnson an executive producer credit. So that's how they probably said, "Hey, we can't spend too much money on this." And another reason why they don't have Lin-Manuel Miranda. And as I said in the beginning of this, yes, you can feel that this was made for streaming. You can feel it at times. And then there's other times where it just feels like, you like the character of Moana. You like the character of Maui. So you're rooting for them, and you're locked into what they're doing. So I like their story. I like their dynamic that they have, and I like the team up and the doubt that that Moana has in herself. She's got to come back to it, but it's not a great movie. I think it's a fine sequel, but clearly made for streaming. But I enjoyed being back watching Maui and Moana kind of reteaming. I like hearing The Rock has fun in this role. You can feel it, even though the singing and the music is not necessarily the best. Is that the voices? Cavallo has a great voice, and I love hearing her sing. But to me, the one that stole the show was the little sister. Very adorable, and maybe that's just the dad in me that reminded me of my 7-year-old. But it was her moments that I thought the reason why Moana wanted to get back in general, to get back to her little sister. Those moments worked for me. So there were moments that worked, but I think that it's very similar to what I was just talking about with a Gladiator. If you are expecting, it to be as good as the first one, you're going to be disappointed, because it's not. But I enjoyed it. I would go and I'll say 3.5 out of 5 for this one. About 7 out of 10 for Maui 2. But that's it. That's my review of this one. I'm put your thoughts in there. I'm sure we're going to get a whole mix. What do you guys think? Something you want to see? Something you don't want to see? Put your comments in there. Let me know. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.